Welcome back for another episode of Dude, Where's My Drift? Thanks for giving us a listen, and if you're enjoying what you're hearing, like, subscribe, or drop us a review and help us grow. Want to chat with the cast, ask us questions, or get updates on episode releases and streams? Follow us on Twitter at DWMD Podcast. New episodes release every Monday, and we stream our recorded sessions every other Monday at 8 p.m. EST on twitch.tv/KAZAIEN. The intro and outro music is written and created by Adam Kelly at Lycanthropist on Twitter. Background music during the episode is created by Tabletop RPG Music, and you can find his work at patreon.com/tabletop-RPG music. And without further ado, here's the show. Hello, and welcome back to another spacefaring, time-traveling adventure, rocketing through the multiverse, powered by 2 power cores and drift engines attached to each other by the finest bits and bobs of goblin engineering, most likely including superglue and duct tape. I'm Kay, the GM for this crazy adventure, and joining me as always are the 5 bravest souls to ever cross the river Styx in hopes of gaining wealth and notoriety, or at least a vacation. Leading us off, we have a doctor with the philosophy of stab with needle first, record the effects after. We have Samlee Aolin, played by DoubleDoge.
Hi.
Next, we have the last action hero anyone will ever need, a quick quip always ready on their lips. We have Braino, played by Chuprakata.
To be fair, I don't have lips.
Walking proof that hearing voices in your head telling you to get a taste test of every creature in the verse doesn't mean you can't still make friends. We have Symber, played by Kaz AI.
It might be tasty, friends. You never know.
Exactly. With a bottle of moonshine strong enough to strip the rust off a starship engine and vocal modulator ready to roar his name to the cheering crowds, we have Gator, played by Clue.
Hell yeah, everybody. Well, love your mama.
And rounding out this team of meatbags, suffering their presence simply by forced circumstances and a need for employment, we have Treb, played by Subterran.
Hello.
Y'all doing all right?
Doing all right.
Yeah. Passable.
Absolutely. Very excited
That's
to be
good.
playing again.
Oh, absolutely.
As ham and beans, I'm doing great.
Yeah, done with work for the day. Done with the chaos and nonsense that is that bullshit level of life.
Get to play nerd games with my nerd friends. I'm happy.
Yeah, hey, it's a great way to end a day. But so for our recap of what happened last time, which because we did have to miss our last stream due to a couple folks feeling a little under the weather, it has been a month since we last played. So Treb, how well do you remember what happened last time?
I took very detailed notes, which you'll hear. It's 3 sentences long. We landed in a universe where maybe the Vesk won the Silent War. We fought some Emerald Nazis, and now we're about to talk to ourselves.
I mean, that sums up so much cleaner than what I usually do. I tend to ramble on these recaps.
Okay, your character introductions are second to none.
Thanks.
I 1, 2, 3,
put
4.
3 seconds of thought into them every week.
I wrote 6 times "fuck Nazis" over and over and over again. Just really big.
Was that your game notes or just your notes for the day?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I mean, it's both when you get right down to it. Because I mean,
Also, Gator was raised by Grandmammy Brenda.
yes, Grandmammy Brenda.
I also have some notes here about the garden on deck 4, but I don't remember if that was last session or the one before.
I think
Gator's
that was last
secret
session.
garden. Don't you dare talk about it.
Yes,
We got a
secret
cool garden. We got a cool garden. It's a secret. Can't say anymore.
That at some point you're going to walk up there one day and it's going to be filled with something terrifying and horrible.
It's Gator's hopes and
It's
dreams.
gonna be Gator.
I'm just saying, it's just Gator.
Well, that's normal there. I'm talking like something extra terrible. You know?
Gator sunbathing.
Ah.
Oh God. You gotta get that cloaca colored.
That's enough.
Bad K.
Hey, you almost made tomato soup come out my nose. Don't do this to me, man.
I'm proud of him. I'm
do
proud.
I thought this was a family show.
Oh no, I definitely have us tagged as explicit for all the podcast releases.
Probably for good reasons now.
I mean, let's face it.
Before they were
all
clue
thinking
reasons.
that Kay just said it.
If Gator wants to bleach his cloaca, you let him be.
It's a personal choice, people. It's a personal preference, personal decision. We don't judge here.
It's for Gator's personal health.
Real quick before I forget, Starfinder and all associated artwork, lore, setting, and the Drift Crashers Adventure Path are the property of Paizo Incorporated, and we are using it all with permission. So I have to get that disclaimer out all the time. But yeah.
Episode edit point.
No way, this is staying in.
Oh man. What a way to start the night, guys.
This is just the mood we need to start the night.
Hey, Editor K, if you don't mind, maybe record it that time so that you can just like take that chop and put it at the beginning of every episode, so that he doesn't have to say it every stream.
I mean, to be fair, I usually record it in the intro for the episode as well. Because I'm a masochist for myself or something like that. Oh, I
Thank
think
you,
it was last week I
Editor K, in
straight
the
up
past.
forgot to say it. Exactly. Honestly, I should probably put a good thing for a clip. Anyway, so back on topic.
Yeah, get a good like a clip.
What? No, you're not steering this ship anymore.
So back on topic. Yeah, so after you guys defeated the Aslanti warship with the your doppel twins aiding you by giving you some bonuses to hit to damage and things like that, and doing a little bit of smack talking around here and there. They once again called the communists and asked if you guys would be willing to meet face to face. To which, I mean, obviously Captain Dynamo is going to defer to you guys because you could say no if you want, but yeah.
To be fair, I don't face it.
That's fair. That's a good point. What if there's no one kind of hesitating about doing a face-to-face meeting and at least one of you giggling maniacally about the concept of meeting yourself face-to-face? Looking at you, Symber. Yeah, they will... Sorry.
Please.
They will pull their ship, the Garrett, up side by side and airlocks together, and they will prepare to come on board. Dynamo, being the fantastic Skittermander chef that he is, will, he'll have his team all take rest breaks while you guys are kind of half going monitor goings on around you, but he will also prepare a nice little meal for you guys to all sit down together with. And it'll be present over here on the map in A4, which is the lounge area. But sure enough, coming on board, we do indeed have a group of 5 coming into our cargo bay here. There's an Osharan, there's a Vesk, there's a Raxolite, an SRO, and a Contemplative. And trailing behind the Contemplative, there is a medium-sized drone. You guys want to let the drone on board or just kind of not deal with that?
We don't want to be not hospitable.
Can I roll an engineering check to try to identify what type of drone? Like what this drone's function is?
Sure.
That is a 3 on the die for a 12. Definitely a drone.
It is definitely a drone. That'll be enough for you to know that, 1 second, I'm pulling it up here again, what type of drone I decided on. It is indeed a combat drone.
Okay.
Seems to have a heavier style of armor than most like smaller drones you see with mechanics, and has a nice big heavy laser cannon mounted on its shoulder, mounted under it. Arkel, the contemplative, will kind of speak up from back there. If you do not wish Breaker to come aboard, I will understand. We do not intend harmful measures but well, I understand if you are concerned about meeting us and you do not wish to have him present.
Oh, okay.
So they're boarding our ship, right?
Yep, they're beginning on board the Primorata.
Okay.
And while
You are joining our ship, so I guess that there's more comfort to you coming here. We are not alone on our ship either.
very well, I will keep him remaining here in your cargo bay, but so he is not one for niceties, but thank you for allowing him to come aboard. And at this point, the Symber with the group from this alternate reality comes stepping out straight forward to our Symber, and is just looking you almost disturbingly up and down, detailed looks and considerations.
I look almost disturbingly back up and down along the same lines.
I feel like the two Gators are doing the Spider-Man meme, just pointing at each other.
A little bit.
Reaching into our wallets and pulling out pictures of Grandmam and Brenda. She likes vanilla ice cream the best. It's the finest of the flavors.
Oh, my grandmammy, Brenda, she was all about that strawberry. She wanted that extra sweet tooth flavor.
It's blowing my mind. Another dater.
She weren't no basic vanilla loving bitch, you know. She spent all her days out in the fields, just
Now, sir, I won't have you call my grandmammy Brenda a basic bitch. That won't do. And she'd have you go cut a switch immediately if she heard you say such things.
No, I ain't bad mouthing your grandma, Mammy Brenda. I'm just saying, gotta have a bit more flavor in your life than just plain old vanilla.
Both Clue and Gator put down his hand and beans at that moment.
Gator immediately having second thoughts.
Oh, man, like Brenda, basic bitch. She said, "You're gonna get rocked, sir." That's gonna happen.
At this point, the alternate Treb just kind of shakes their head. Meatheads. And they start kind of wandering out through the ship.
Meatheads. I like that one.
And the contemplative approaches you, Braino. Why are you wearing that mask?
It contains my integrated heads-up display.
This seems pointless. Why do you need an integrated heads-up display? And you see him just, his brain just kind of looks up and down, the like giant brain just wobbling back up a little bit to simulate I am you. Like, your physique is unusual.
Yes, it is.
We don't body shame here.
This is incredibly observant of you.
I do not understand. I mean, you have a stronger musculature. How? I do not understand how you could possibly be me and it looks so different.
Indeed, I was considering much the same, especially that you seem to have outsourced much of your combat ability to a non-sentient robot.
Breaker has a sentience. He is an AI. He just doesn't have a soul as a more useless robotic individual may. Intelligence is a far more greater skill to acquire than brute force.
That is debatable. However, it does seem that in our case, the timeline has diverged somewhat more significantly than with the others.
And your phrase of "that's debatable," you just like, if he had eyes, they would just light up. And I am Archelaus 12. Come, we should do this debate. Follow. I'm told there are refreshments in a resting area, yes?
Indeed.
We got pie punch in the back there. Pie punch. Punch your pie. This is way. Okay, come on, Gator.
I will say this, the alternate Treb is going straight for the engineering bay.
This Treb will join them.
Is it Archelaus? Brain, if you want to lead the way, they'll follow you down towards the lounge here. That's pointing them towards Food and Punch. Gator will go there as well. Symber, where would you and your doppel like to go?
We're just going to quietly stare at each other until the room is empty, I think.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're going to leave Symber alone again.
Well, I will remind that the Breaker, the drone, is remaining here in the cargo bay. It is controlled by Archelaus, who's wanted off, but...
That's fine.
Okay. Alright, and... Dr. Samlee, your counterpart, drew out his tricorder and is absolutely running scans over all of you as you're all walking by, as you're all staring each other down and interacting and everything like that, and it's just fascinating. This is fascinating.
Yeah. Sam, is doing the exact same thing. And before they probably, I guess, like eventually like end up on each other, like pointing their tricorders at each other, and just like curious. Doctor.
Tricorders, I see.
Most interesting, Doctor. Do you have a medical or technological facility on the ship that we might better run more detailed scans?
Of course. And he gestures forward, and they can walk out, snail and snail.
Okay. Oh, good.
I'm suddenly having a terrifying mental image.
And everybody else
sort
knows
of
that they fell in love.
Slug.
Okay. All right.
We're all gonna fall in love with ourselves.
I was going to say, I'm having a mental image of a slug version of Heinlein's all you zombies, and it's really not a pretty sight.
So just for my sanity sake here on this, I'm going to do a pseudo combat tracker thing here.
Okay.
That way we make sure everybody, just so everybody is getting turns without me overlooking anyone while things are going on and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a giant pile of dice about to fall here.
You know, I love it.
Okay. All right. So we're going to be beginning with Archelaus. So, Reno, you and Archelaus both make your way down to the leisure room, and he is just kind of floating along on his legs. You do notice, as he said, his drone does indeed remain back in the cargo bay, not advancing with them. And once in here, he sits there, and once again, just continues. You get this overwhelming sense that he is just judging you immensely. What are you called?
My public designation is cool. Wow, player lost all English ability. I am publicly known as Brain O, although this is a common misunderstanding of my appellation, which is Brain Zero.
But that is just such a bizarre and simplistic name. Brain Zero? As in, you have no zero brain? You are not intelligent?
No, indeed not. It is a reference to my favorite piece of popular literature, The Amazing Brain, Issue 0, The Origin Story.
And with that, you see Archelaus just recoil slightly. A comic book?
No, it is an illustrated novel. Indeed, the average comic book, as you say, is only a few pages long, perhaps 24. An illustrated novel, or graphic novel, can be upwards of 60 to 100. In this case, the origin story is 120 pages.
But what educational value has an illustrated novel? What knowledge basis is this?
It is not for its educational value as such, not a simple case of academics, but rather what it teaches those who approach the strange and unusual, how to accept them among themselves.
He just starts, as much as someone without an actual mouth can sputter, is exactly what they start doing. This is outrageous and ridiculous. Graphic novels, illustrated novels, comic books, these are not a foundation for educational and material purposes. They teach no true value that you cannot gain from better understanding the philosophies and works of the great writers and the Stoics.
Yes, but such things are often terribly inaccessible. I find this to be more, how should you say, understandable by those who have lesser intellect. I do my best in my career as a security agent to be accessible by less advanced creatures.
And as he prepares to unleash a tirade against you for being a security agent among all things, we're going to move on to the good Dr. Samlee. What are you up to up there in the medical bay?
I think the doctor will begin. So, perhaps we should share our scannings and confirm that what we suspect is actually true here, because there seems to be definitely something strange occurring amongst us.
Well, yes, I am not adverse to sharing sensor readings, but if what these sensor readings are revealing to us, I would feel that just scanning would not be an appropriate deep enough measurement to accurately gauge the truth of this matter.
So you would recommend blood testing and further genetic sampling?
Indeed, I would like, if obviously you and all the others do agree, blood and saliva and possibly skin samples as well, so we have various different ways to verify and reference.
As he starts saying that, the doctor is already going to pull out a kit, sampling kit, and he's gonna start sampling himself essentially to begin with.
Ah, yes, of course. And the alt Samlee begins doing the same thing. Pulls out his own kit, begins to draw some blood, swab his cheek and everything. It is most interesting to be acquainted with myself. I mean, this is an opportunity that not many should be able to ever see and have happen in their lives.
And that's to even include that our lives are even the same. Up to this point, we've probably lived drastic, different experiences, yet we both seem to come out nearly in the same point of view.
This is true, though. I would be shocked if our lives are entirely the same. Because, this is the whole concept of a multiverse, is that every instance that happens spouts off a new and different reality and possibility. For example, where did you attend school at?
Well, initially, I attended at Absalom, and then I've done further studies in different schools as well.
I see. For I began my educational learning at the University of Cabaret before moving on to Avalon.
Interesting.
Indeed. Although I'm using these phrases for your understanding, of course. For here, Avalon is more commonly referred to as Galarian 1, and Cabaret is Galarian 2. Or Castrovel is Galarian 2.
We should probably at some point compare our known histories, not just our personal ones, but as well as the differences between our essential multiverses.
Indeed. For example, tell me, how is Corey doing?
Oh, he passed a few years ago now.
You were not able to save him?
I was not there.
I see.
Things fell out of my control very quickly regarding him.
You see the alt Samlee just kind of look down at their tricorder as they start examining something, and you see the little, like, their mouth slug tentacle thingy kind of quibbles a little bit before he just nods. And we're going to move over to the engineering bay, where Alt Treb is just staring in fascination at this engine.
I think our Treb is probably staring at other Trebs, staring at the engine, trying to see what they're focusing on, see if there's anything that like they missed when they were looking at it, you know?
Yeah. This thing is just absolutely ridiculous. How does this even work?
You know, so far, yes. Sort of. I don't know.
Oh, what do you know? As he kind of moves around, poking at it a little bit. There's exposed wires. This thing is a safety hazard. Ugh. Well, I'm not surprised that the meat bags don't care as much. I'm sure you're in here slaving away, working at it all the time, while they party and do what else?
That is not inaccurate.
What do they care for the safety of one of us?
There are a couple organics who work in the engineering department as well.
I doubt they know what they're doing.
I'm not sure yet. I haven't been working with them long enough to make that assessment.
But, and he kind of steps back towards you. What can you tell me of this device, how it works, what it does, how you came to be here?
Well, we haven't had much time to do intentional experimentation. It's all been very slapdash. But I can just show you what happened. And Treb will like pull a wire out of their head and just offer to just like plug in to the other Treb.
The other Treb will take it, and he will open up a little data port on the back of his neck and plug it into there. Now, and yep, you two can begin trading information freely back and forth. So pretty much everything that's happened so far in this stream and podcast, you can pass on to him, and he'll pass on some information to you as well. Go ahead and, if you don't mind, roll me a computers check.
All right. 22.
That is enough that he is definitely hiding things back from you. But there's stuff that he's not sharing or showing.
Can I tell, like, what that might be in reference to?
No.
You know, like, is it something personal, or is it something about the world we're in, or?
I'll give you, it seems to be, he's trying to, like, only give you superficial ideas about him and the others, like things that he thinks you would just automatically know based on your own interactions with the members of this crew. Not actually reveal any deeper details about what it is that this crew here, that the alternate crew does for their work and things like that.
Treb would want to try to push if possible.
That will be another computer check.
All right. Let's see. 19 on the die for a 28.
My goodness. That is going to be enough to essentially hack in on this, on him. And you see, feel his, data, his mental connection kind of twitch a little bit as you kind of gain access, and you hear him vaguely saying out loud, why are you pushing in so hard? So with this, you are able to learn that, so the pact system doesn't exist. There never was a pact. The Veskarian conquered the pact system. And so all the planets are respective Galarian dash whatever number of planet from the sun they are. The Veskarian Empire is currently fighting a two-front war against the Aslanti and against the Swarm. The crew of the Garrote are mercenaries who have been hired by the Veskarian to kind of try and keep the Aslanti off balance while the Veskarian focus on fighting off the Swarm. And they kind of relish their duty, doing their thing, taking out ships. And it's not always Aslanti ships that they take out. They are a bit of a rough and tumble pirate mercenary crew. And Treb, buried in the code of this data transfer that he was streaming to you, is a virus that he tried to transmit to you, but you are able to pass it off. But you are able to pretty much partition it off so it won't infect your system.
Man, Treb, you gotta use protection. You can't just be taking dongles from
And with that, we're going to move on back to Brino, according to my tracker here.
Jesus.
So outside of this debate about how your name is terrible and that this guy clearly doesn't approve of your decisions to be so martial, do you have anything else you would like to discuss with Arkellis 12 or ask him?
No, oddly enough. Brino has decided that his alternate self is, for lack of a better term, an asshole. And simply finds him uninteresting and unenlightened in a social sort of way.
He will, at one point during your guys' debate, go on an explanation that the name Arkellis 12 came from the great philosopher Norwellin Arkellis in his 12th work, where he dictated that sentient life must bow down before the greatest intellect in any given situation, and that one will best succeed in life by greater learning and understanding, not wasting your time on picture books for children.
Gator turns over to him and says, literally no one asked you that. Nobody. Did you ask? Oh, you're rude. I don't like you. You're being rude right now.
And that's going to take us to the Symbers.
So Symber would lean in and just kind of, I have a place if you want to go.
Tell me more. I'm interested.
Let's just say I want to get to know you better.
Oh, yes, I am most interested in getting to know you much, much better as well.
So we're going to take the elevator up to Gator's room.
How do I know?
How do I get up there?
Yep. Okay. Almost there. Just be careful not to not eat yourself all the way off the map.
Goodbye.
Uh-huh. So, when the two of you get here to the special hidden room, Symber is kind of looking around a little bit. It's like, this is most interesting place. And like step and next to you again, and I need you to make me a fortitude save, please.
Yeah, damn right. The screen keeps moving around.
As he
Okay.
reaches out to touch you, and he
Oh,
misses
no.
horribly.
Do I need to? I guess I should. No. I was gonna say, do I need to? I mean,
As he reaches out to touch you and just swipes horribly and inefficiently, and his other hand draws out a knife.
a knife.
A knife.
All right, I have to do this. I have to put this guy down. I'm sorry.
That's going to take us
Yeah.
back to our Treb.
We're with you in spirit.
Okay, so I think our Treb would disconnect and just look at the other Treb and be like, "Why did you give me a virus? Not okay. Not okay."
That was still in there. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was for an android that we were trying to capture. That that's what that was from.
Can I roll a sense motive?
Yes, you can. Because I rolled a bluff.
I don't have a very good sense motive. That is a nat 1 for a total of 2.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
and I got a
luck with your
17 on my
android.
bluff. So, yep. Yeah, sorry. I tried to sneak up and plug into his data ports to stun him, and I guess I forgot the program was still loaded. I apologize for that.
Well, all right. So what was all that stuff about what you all do for a living?
And you see he kind of hesitates for a moment. That's very rude to just hack and force your way in like that. But
I'm sorry, where I come from, that's okay.
I should roll.
18 bluff.
Oh, hold on.
18 on the die for a total of 18.
He doesn't have sense motive. Just roll a straight D20 on this one. Oh, I see that. Interesting. Most interesting. No,
Oh,
so
God.
no private data. Yes, I see.
Both,
That must be
both-
interesting.
and yet so cunning.
Yes, well, we do the jobs that have to get the pay. We do the jobs we need to do to get paid. Sometimes they're not necessarily upright standing jobs, but well, what is really upright and standing doesn't just get you the most authority and strength in this world.
Authority and strength, is that what you seek the most?
Well, yes, the strongest conquer. That's the way. The Veskarium conquered all these systems around them. They're working to conquer the Swarm and the Aslanti as well. Strength wins out.
Interesting. I prefer to focus on the gathering of knowledge and information, not for the power it can give, though it can grant power, but merely for the sake of the knowledge itself.
I mean, knowledge has its place and its purpose in gaining the upper hand over foes. As Demoratosh teaches us.
Are you a worshipper of Demoratosh?
Indeed. Who do you worship?
Treb gets kind of quiet for a second and isn't really sure how to answer that question, but then does say, I worship Triune.
Yes, there are still some robotics who worship the creator of the drift, but in light of what they're worshipping has fallen by a little by the wayside. And with this latest issue of no one able to make it into the drift, well, I fear that this church may not be long for our system.
Yes, that is a concern. Can you tell me anything that you know about why the drift has been closed off in this universe?
And he opens his mouth to answer, and we move on to Gator.
Vanilla.
They're just sitting there arm wrestling.
Vanilla. Strawberry. Vanilla.
Strawberry. All right, yeah, let's do an opposed athletics check, or no, opposed strength check for an arm wrestle.
Yeah, Gator's just gonna leap over this table. And start
All right, opposed strength. Let's see what happens.
hang on. Strength?
Yep, just raw strength.
I hate it. Wow.
I rolled a 9.
And I rolled a 3. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Uh-oh.
Strawberries. Strawberries better. Gives you bigger muscles, and alternate Gator just kind of sits there and flexes real big. That's why I slammed your hand down into this table. That's why I'm winner of this arm wrestling match.
That's not how that. I'm gonna take my tail. I want it to wrap around his chair and yank it out from underneath him.
Okay.
Athletics, acrobatics.
Go ahead and roll. I guess athletics, yeah.
That dice is
15. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna roll this to see if he falls on his ass or not. Ha! You whip the chair out from under him, and he catches himself immediately in half a crouch, rises back up to his full 6.5 feet height. He's giving you a stare down.
Ella.
Well, that just weren't friendly. Your grandmammy Brenda teach you to try and knock chairs out from under other folks.
Ella named Boss did. I caved in it. Ella down in the fight gets back upon did.
Sorry,
Grandmammy Brenda didn't like it when I fought, but I needed to bring money to the table.
Your grandmammy Brenda seems to be as weak-hearted as you were. She's liking that vanilla ice cream. She doesn't want you to fight. She should have taught you better. Taught you that the best way to win in everything is to be the strongest and the best.
Gator knocks his sweet tea over on the table. I do believe it's time for you to go.
Just because you're a little wimpy sissy boy that your grandmammy didn't raise right. You gotta get up in your face a little bit.
It's time for you to go. It's time for you to leave, sir.
Fine. And he'll start making his way out, but the others kind of... Arkless looks at them and shakes his brain in despair.
All of you, I meant, when I said you, I meant collectively, all of you must leave now.
Okay. Symber, you're up.
Symber muted.
You're right. Soul Surge.
Uh-oh.
Do I get any bonuses?
I don't think so. Oh, hold on.
Damn it.
I don't think that rolled right, though.
I don't think it it either, because it only took +1. It's only supposed to take my key attribute when it's... Yeah, it should be +4.
Okay.
Why is it 120 +1 +1? Oh. That's 1d20. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Hang on. How do I...
I think I just fixed it. Go ahead and click it again. See what it does this time.
If I attack again?
Yeah.
Okay. There it is. It took it that time.
Did it right that time. Cool. Yeah, that'll hit.
That'll hit.
Uh-huh.
That's not right. That is wrong. Wait a minute. That is entirely wrong. Hold it.
Well, the good news is it did only show the damage for the 12. But it did 3d8. It just rolled all the dice.
I don't...
It did that last time, didn't it?
So yeah, some of the multi-level spells on here do that occasionally, where it just rolls all the dice, but then only tells you the total for the level you cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
The feeling of panic there.
I would love to see it. It's just fun. Yeah, that Alt Symber does not look too good after that hit.
Just
as they kind of scream in pain.
Form my hand into a piercer and then just kind of stab them in everything.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, and you just get blood all over the garden up here. They scream out in pain.
Yeah.
So that's after that. We're going to move to Alt Samlee. I want to go back to Gator real quick. Are you just like in that room telling them, or are you getting on the comms and like telling everybody that the clones need to be that the duplicates need to be gone?
I think in the immediate, he would just be ushering Doppelbraino and Doppelgator out because he's not smart enough to just be like, oh yeah, you can just hit a button and talk to people.
Okay. All right. So with that in mind, then we go back to the Samlees. So by this point, the Alt Samlee has offered you his own blood sample, skin sample, saliva sample, and has asked for yours as well.
Yeah, I think Samlee would take his own samples and then offer them over using his own equipment.
Are
the kinkiest shit.
Are you suspecting my good friends who are just mercenaries in a vicious Vesk world of like potentially trying to hurt you guys or something? I don't know why you would ever think that.
I think the doctor is just very particular about his own sterilization process. So even though this looks like him, he doesn't know if he also follows the same, doctoral training when it comes to cleaning and sterilizing. So he's making sure he's using his own equipment.
That's fair. So he'll take his own samples, he'll take your own samples, he'll trade them, and he'll start running them through his tricorder. Interesting. I think I need another line to study. Shall we find one of your associates and find one of my associates and take samples of them as well?
That seems like the next logical conclusion.
Okay, let us. I believe they said they were going to a lounge. If you would show the way there, please.
Yes. Walk out.
And as you're walking down, he would say, now I feel the best way to get discourse on to determine the data information here is we have taken a sample from our own universe selves. We should now each take a sample from an alternate universe self.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. Let me take yours first. And I don't know if there's a way he is kind of paranoid because I feel like he would trust that his own equipment would be good enough to run the samples, so it would be weird that he just thinks it's weird to cross-run stuff, I guess. Also, I'm paranoid as a player.
Well, what he's trying to say is he thinks that so you each have taken samples from themselves to then traded them to examine everything. So now he wants to each of them take samples from, like, be the ones who draw the samples from someone from a different universe. That way, just in case there are any oddities that come up that you guys might notice from your own universes for whatever reason, just because of weird shifts or things like that. I'm explaining this really badly.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I don't want to do that because I'm paranoid. The doctor would be like, would you not be potentially concerned about virus contaminations from illnesses that we are not potentially immune to from different universes? I would assume your contagions in your universe are quite different from our contagions in our universe.
Well, that is certainly a good possibility, but that also is something worth researching and looking into. For if we do indeed have different contagions, then perhaps we can find ways to utilize them in emergency cases, or to begin preparing cures in case a breakout does occur by your mere presence in this universe.
Samlee would just hold out another blood sample and be like, wouldn't a blood sample be good enough to test that theory?
That is true, though, as I'm sure you are aware, when it comes to trying to running tests and examinations of how different viruses or diseases interact with blood, a single vial would not be near enough, nor would only having a single species sample for different viruses for the same virus will interact with different species in different ways.
Does your ship not possess the proper medical facilities to extend samples outside of a single dosage?
Our ship does not have a medical bay like yours, unfortunately. We must carefully transport them in a cooler until we are able to get back to a station that has such facilities available.
It sounds like there is risk of DNA degradation then, and it would be best to finish the testing here on our facility.
That is a fair point. I would just be concerned over if our machinery interacts differently, because who knows what differences there truly are between our two worlds besides just a difference in history.
Could I do a roll in here, like a life science or physical science or some sort of roll to back up my line of thinking? Because I'm just concerned as a person.
Yeah, go for it. I'm confused. Look, I am our biohacker. Your guys' biohacker, the true Samlee, may be a scientist in real life, but the GM is most definitely not.
Ooh, not a great life science roll.
That's close to average.
Close
to moderate. Okay, so the argument is that you're concerned about degradation of the samples because of not proper storage or testing, correct?
As well as contamination from viruses from this universe infecting us, or us giving them viruses from our universe, vice versa, that we would not have a proper immune system for.
Okay, so with that roll...
The whole argument about why you should eat dirt sometimes because it gives you stuff.
Yeah.
So with that roll, what I'm going to run with on this is you two are kind of debating the whole time you're making your way down to the lounge, and you're going to get just in time as you see the other Gator walking out, and the player Gator kind of approaching Archelaus 12, just as the alt Samlee agrees that does make the most sense, that we should just run our tests here on board your ship. I will obviously want to scan through your equipment and
from your ship, I'm afraid. Just go ahead and turn around.
Gator, what's going on, Gator?
That one's unkind, and this one's a jerk. I don't like them. I don't trust them. They need to leave now.
And in the background, you can hear Braino going, "Look, you have to radically transgress interdisciplinary otherness. Because we need to repurpose mission-critical enduring understandings via thinking, learning, and doing. You can't just think your way out of these conundrums, as he and the other."
Think your way out of this, and I just grab it on by the scruff of its big brain. By the brainstem. I just pick it up.
I feel like that would really hurt.
I feel like that would hurt a lot too, and I feel like that would have to require an attack roll to grapple or something.
Okay. Twist my arm.
That will not be enough to grapple.
You have to go. Now.
So, all Gators are already leaving. At this point, Arcless, they definitely dodge out of the way of your attempt to grab him by the neck and start strangling him. Well, I have never been so insulted. These friends of yours are absolute malignant brutes. And he, as much as a floating brain can, huffily walk away, he'd managed to pull that off.
He's
little legs dangling.
Braino looks up at Gator and goes, "If that is the worst he has ever been insulted, he has had a very short existence."
Fucking asshole, though.
And Alt Samlee is just, well, I cannot believe this is how my friends are being treated. I thought that your crew would be more open to discourse, like you were. And he is also beginning to make his way out. As he reaches right about here, you do notice something slips out of his hand as if he had been trying to palm it really quick. And it just tingles to the ground, but he does not seem to notice as he continues walking out of the way. We will get back to that. Let's go to the Trebs.
Like he accidentally dropped something?
He seems to have accidentally dropped something. To the Trebs.
So Treb had just asked what alternate Treb knew about the drift crisis in this universe.
Yep. I don't really know anything about a drift crisis, you said? I mean, that's certainly an apt phrase for what's going on right now. About, I'd say a week ago now, all of a sudden, no one was able to go into the drift. It just seemed like it just stopped working altogether.
The fallout from that. Oh, go ahead.
And then, well, I guess because we were, from what I gathered from what you had shared with me, that's about the time that all of you showed up from, well, not here, obviously. And I'll be honest, I'm rather concerned that you may have something to do with it. You may have was hoping you had some understanding of why it suddenly stopped working when you appeared.
No, but I'm trying to solve the same mystery.
It is truly alarming. And, well, I wonder if it has something to do with this bizarre engine you have here that's cobbled together from bits and bobs. And he kind of cuts off a little bit as his communicator starts to beep. It seems that my crewmates' welcome has worn thin here, as they are being asked to depart.
Will you join them? You could come with us, help us solve this mystery.
And he kind of looks at you for a long moment before shaking his head. No, I need to continue. If we are returning to our ship, then I assume that that means we would also have more work to do. And quite frankly, I don't trust them to disconnect our ships from each other without accidentally breaking something without me on board.
Understandable. Well, if that is your decision, so be it. Is there anything else that you could offer in regards to maybe the fallout in your reality since the drift has gone down, or any information that you have that could be useful?
I mean, with the drift down, interstellar communications are grinding to a halt, and, well, we have no idea what's going on with the wars either against the Atlanti or with the swarm, so kind of at a standstill in terms of those, and hope that whatever Veskarium operations are ongoing, they will be able to handle them, and, well, that this drift will resume its working soon enough.
As soon as Alt Treb starts talking about the wars, our universe's Treb just stops listening and goes and starts working on the engine again, and it's just like, okay, well, take care.
All right. So that is 4 out of 5. Departing takes us back up here to the garden. Symber, your doppelganger is just staring at you, looking none too good. And they are going to cast their own spell as their mouth just opens up incredibly wide and they go to take a chomp out of you. I'm just going to roll this for the plus to hit. I think that's going to be a miss. Kaz, you there?
I have 3 mute buttons and I keep forgetting which one I hit.
We're taking
I see it muted on Discord.
I said, oh, good. I had similar ideas.
So 9 misses. So they will just kind of growl through their massive mouth of teeth, and it's going to be your turn.
Really?
Yep.
Well, let's do something similar. So how do I make?
Just go ahead and roll your tactical baton attack. It's going to be the same thing, modifier.
Okay. Oh yeah.
That will be a hit.
So now I need
just a /D4 r/D /RD4. Oh yes, describe your kill.
Uh-oh.
So when the other Symber kind of goes for the chomp, mine would reach over and grab the lesser Symber by the throat, pulling up the face value and going, I've always wondered what it would be like to eat myself. And then mouth spread open and then just yep.
And as ever, a red and black accretion disc spawns across your body as just this dark green blood from eating yourself just starts dribbling down your mouth a little bit. And what do you taste like?
Like if you made a blood sausage out of celery.
Ew.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm the most omnivorous person I know, and I don't think I'd eat that.
I'm really not sure how to take that.
I'm dying.
That might have like the worst textures I've ever imagined in a food.
Yeah, honestly, like, you get
Okay.
those strings of blood sausage just stuck in between your teeth all day.
So, yeah.
There will be nothing left, by the way, when I'm done.
As a
However,
kid.
I am happy that I'm going to have a new knife.
Oh, I mean, if you strip the body off, you get a couple things, actually.
I'm going to, yes. I'm going to prepare my meal and finish eating it.
Put
You
some
get-
peanut butter or raisins on top of it.
Ah, yes, peanut butter and sauerkraut on top of the celery blood sauce.
God. That's an image I don't need. Yeah, so you get a switchblade tactical,
Ooh.
a sting pistol ant, and regimental dress Mark 1.
Okay, I'm not sure where to put that in my inventory or how to add it to my inventory. Oh, there we go. Weapons,
There.
add, got it.
I mean, it's all equipment. You can search and drag it onto your sheet from there.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
And while we do that, and with that gruesome scene underway here, let's take a quick 5-minute break.
I didn't know eating or doppelganger was an option.
I mean,
Oh, trust me, when the Symbers saw each other, it was never not an option. Hello, and thank you for listening to Dude Where's My Drift, an actual play podcast for the Starfinder RPG system. Starfinder and all associated art and setting is a trademark owned by Paizo Incorporated and used with permission, you monster.